Good afternoon, and welcome to the Wednesday afternoon conference call with Trusts Unlimited. This is Jim George speaking. I'm the non-attorney spokesman and facilitator for Trusts Unlimited, and I'd like to thank all of you for taking the time to listen to this call. My plan last week was to announce that there would be no call for today, and I thought about simply not getting on today. But I've received a number of calls and emails from clients that are concerned about the recent devaluation of the Iraqi dinar against the U.S. dollar. So I'm going to be briefly talking about that situation, but this will not be a normal call. We will not be discussing the turnkey program we've put in place to assist you. So those of you that are calling in for the first time and will be listening to the replay, I strongly suggest you go back and listen to our call of December 16th because it has all of the information about the program we've put in place to assist you both pre- and post-RV, and it has a very informative Q&A. So let's talk a little bit about the recent devaluation of the Iraqi dinar. The devaluation of the dinar has occurred for several reasons. I understand why this would be upsetting for some, but if you step back and look at what's actually going on, I would argue it's actually a good thing. And I'm going to give you the reasons why. First, the devaluation has to do globally with the situation with COVID. Now, in my opinion, COVID is not a pandemic. I don't even think it medically qualifies as an epidemic. But nevertheless, it's had a negative effect on the economies around the world. And the currencies that are pegged to the U.S. dollar have all experienced some level of devaluation. So the devaluation of the dinar in and of itself is not unusual given the situation. Second, the devaluation of the dinar is very similar to the devaluation of the Kuwaiti dinar in the early 90s. Now remember, the UN, the IMF, the Bank of International Settlement all want to see the spread between the auction rate for the dinar and the street rate of the dinar to be within 2%. Well, the devaluation of the dinar on the street in country brings the spread between the auction rate and the street rate in country to within that 2% range. Lastly, the devaluation of the dinar against the U.S. dollar helps to facilitate the collection of the 3-0 provisional currency in country because it has temporarily much less purchasing power than the U.S. dollar on the street. It's an incentive for people to exchange it for the U.S. dollar. Now, when the currency reinstitutes, whether they're in possession of the 3-0 provisional currency or the new currency, it's going to be at the reinstituted rate. So for all of these reasons, the devaluation of the Iraqi dinar is not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I'm saying that it is helpful and it's pushing us toward the reinstitution of the Iraqi dinar in country. So I wanted to get on the line today and just briefly explain that to allay your concerns. We don't want anyone wringing their hands over the holiday season. Again, for our newer callers, I strongly suggest you listen to the replay from December 16th. It has a little bit of review of the situation as it progressed in Iraq. Then it has a detailed explanation of our turnkey program and, again, a very informative Q&A. So I want to thank all of you for taking the time this close to the Christmas season to contact us and listen to what we have to say. We certainly wish all of you a wonderful Christmas, holiday, and New Year season. I'm sure we're all ready to move on to 2021. 2020 has been a very stressful year for all of us. We do have a call scheduled for next week, which I believe is the 30th of December, to finish out the year. But again, thanks so much for taking the time to listen. I hope the things I've discussed here, again, have allayed some of your concerns. Have a wonderful Christmas, and we'll talk to you again next week. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great week. Bye-bye.